A ship adrift, crew vanished, no signs of a struggle. What really happened aboard the Mary Celeste? Imagine this. A fully intact ship is found adrift in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The sails are still up, the cargo is untouched, the food and water are still there. Even the crew's belongings, clothes, pipes and personal diaries are neatly in place, but the entire crew has vanished without a trace. No distress call, no signs of violence, no damage to the ship, just one chilling question that has haunted the seas for over 150 years. What really happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? The discovery that shocked the world. It was December 4th, 1872. A British ship named Dei Gratia was sailing through the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores Islands when its lookout spotted a vessel drifting aimlessly. As they approached, they realized the ship was the Mary Celeste, an American brigantine that had left New York just a month earlier, bound for Genoa, Italy. When the crew of the Dei Gratia boarded her, what they found was beyond eerie. The Mary Celeste was in perfect sailing condition. Her cargo of 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol was untouched. There was plenty of food and fresh water, enough for 6 months, but there was no one on board. Not the captain, not his wife and young daughter, and not a single crew member. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Who were the people on board? The Mary Celeste was captained by Benjamin Briggs, a highly respected and experienced sailor. He was known to be deeply religious, calm, and trustworthy. He had brought along his wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, a sign that he expected a safe, uneventful voyage. The rest of the crew were handpicked by Briggs himself, men he trusted with his life. Nothing about this voyage was supposed to go wrong, but somewhere between New York and Italy, something unthinkable happened. The condition of the ship. Here's what investigators found when they examined the ship. The lifeboat was missing, suggesting the crew might have abandoned ship. The ship's logbook entries stopped abruptly on November 25th, 1872, about 9 days before the vessel was found. The last entry mentioned heavy weather, but nothing alarming. The ship's pump was disassembled, and a sounding rod, used to check water levels, was lying on deck. There were 3.5 feet of water in the hold, not enough to threaten the ship. And here's the kicker. 9 barrels of alcohol were empty or leaking. Was this connected to the mystery? Possibly, but no one could be sure. Theories that tried to explain the impossible. Over the decades, countless theories have surfaced, some rational, others downright bizarre. Let's explore the most intriguing ones. A. The alcohol explosion theory. One of the most believable explanations is that fumes from the alcohol barrels leaked into the cargo hold. Industrial alcohol can be volatile. If the fumes built up, a single spark could have triggered a massive explosion. But since no damage was found, some historians think there might have been a flash fire, a sudden whoosh of flame and smoke without leaving burns or marks. Captain Briggs, fearing another explosion, may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily, tethered to the ship by a rope. But if the rope snapped in rough seas, they would have been left drifting helplessly, watching the Mary Celeste sail away. Chilling, isn't it? B. The seaquake or rogue wave theory. Another theory suggests that the ship might have been hit by a seaquake or a rogue wave, causing panic among the crew. If the ship suddenly tilted or took on water, Briggs might have thought it was sinking and ordered evacuation. But the Mary Celeste, built strong, would have rebalanced and stayed afloat, leaving the lifeboat and everyone in it lost to the sea. C. The piracy or mutiny theory. Some believed pirates could have attacked and killed the crew, but the cargo and valuables were untouched, which doesn't fit the pirate narrative. Others thought there was mutiny, but again, there was no sign of struggle, blood, or weapon use. Everything on board was unnervingly calm. If it was a mutiny, it was the quietest one in history. D. The supernatural theories. Of course, no maritime mystery is complete without the supernatural. Some say the Mary Celeste sailed through the Bermuda Triangle, though she wasn't technically in it. Others believe sea monsters or alien abductions played a role. These theories might sound wild, but the truth is, no rational explanation has ever been proven, which keeps the ghost stories alive. The crew that found the ship was accused of murder. Here's where things take another twist. When the Dei Gratia crew brought the Mary Celeste to port, they claimed salvage rights, essentially a reward for finding and rescuing the ship. But the British Admiralty Court was suspicious. The idea of a perfectly good ship found abandoned seemed too convenient. The crew of the Dei Gratia were interrogated for months, accused of foul play, murder, and theft. yet no evidence was ever found against them. Eventually, they received their salvage payment, but it was shockingly low, as if the court still didn't quite trust them. Later investigations and new clues. Over time, modern researchers have tried to uncover the truth using science and logic. Chemical tests revealed that the leaking alcohol barrels were made of red oak, a porous wood more likely to release fumes. This gives weight to the alcohol explosion theory. Others pointed out that the ship's chronometer, a key navigation tool, was faulty. If Captain Briggs miscalculated their position, he might have believed they were near land and decided to abandon ship, a fatal mistake. But even then, why no trace of the lifeboat or the crew was ever found remains one of the greatest puzzles in maritime history. The legacy of the Mary Celeste. The mystery of the Mary Celeste became a sensation in newspapers around the world. It inspired books, plays and films, and even Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, wrote a fictionalized version of the story in 1884, adding even more mystery and myth to the case. To this day, the Mary Celeste stands as a symbol of the sea's eternal secrets, of how something can be so real, yet so unexplainable. The fate of the ship after the mystery. After the Mary Celeste was recovered, she was sold and continued sailing for over a decade, but her story never escaped the shadow of its haunted past. Every captain who commanded her afterwards seemed to face bad luck, accidents, and strange mishaps. Sailors began to believe the vessel was cursed. In 1885, the ship's final owner deliberately wrecked her off the coast of Haiti in an attempted insurance fraud. He filled the Mary Celeste with a worthless cargo and ran her aground on a reef, ending her cursed journey forever. The scam failed, and the ship was left to rot, swallowed by the very ocean that had kept her secret. The enduring enigma. Even today, the Mary Celeste remains one of the most studied maritime mysteries ever recorded. No theory, scientific or supernatural, has fully solved the disappearance. The story stands as a timeless reminder of humanity's limits against nature's power and mystery. Some secrets, it seems, are meant to drift forever. Could we ever know the truth? Perhaps the real answer sank with the lifeboat that stormy night. Or maybe it's still out there, buried deep beneath the Atlantic waves. The Mary Celeste's logbook stops mid-journey. No screams, no farewell, just a quiet end to an ordinary entry. And that silence has echoed through history ever since. The sea never tells its secrets. Maybe that's what makes this mystery so haunting. We live in a world of logic, science and technology, yet the ocean still guards its ghosts. The Mary Celeste reminds us that not everything can be explained, and that sometimes the truth lies in the deep, forever untold. If you enjoyed diving into this chilling maritime mystery, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next mystery might just leave you questioning what's real and what's lost at sea.